Hello, everyone. Well, after all of the glamour and the fabulous films, we now finally know who has won the top prize, the Palme d'Or here in Cannes. Lisa Nesselson is here with me. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Jeannie.
So wonderful to be with you again. So who is exactly this new top prize winner? Ken Loach with his film, I, Daniel Blake. Lisa, what do you think about it?
I'm extremely happy. This is an excellent choice on the part of the jury. As we go along, you'll see that, well, I'll let my bear perhaps indicate, but there are some... I was hoping I wouldn't have to use the word incomprehensible in the course of this evening's broadcast. That's going to come up. This is not incomprehensible. This is a man still, he's about to turn 80 years old. He's been making films for 5 decades. He is at the top of his powers. And I, Daniel Blake, is a dignified, touching human drama, the kind of movie Mr. Loach has been making his entire career about ordinary working people up against the system. In this case, it's a carpenter who's worked for 40 years, who is paid into the system. He has a heart attack, not fatal, but he cannot work. He needs the money to go on paying his bills that he has coming to him, and the system has been streamlined in such a way to make him feel guilty, ashamed, unentitled to what he has worked for his entire life. It's a stunning film. That said, it's about poor people, honest working people, but it's not tragic in the sense that there's lots of humor. Ken Loach said that, you know, people who are going through hard times, it's not dour, 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 sad, sad, sad. There's also an enormous amount of humor, some of it very dark and some of it very light and wonderful.
Now, Lisa, Ken Loach won this Golden Palme 10 years after he won for The Wind That Shakes the Barley. He just spoke at the ceremony here in Cannes moments ago, and in typical Ken Loach fashion, his speech was very political. Let's listen.
There is a danger now of despair. And when there is so much despair, the people from the far right take advantage. And some of us who are old have remembered what that was like. So we must give a message of hope. We must say another world is possible and necessary.
That's Ken Loach there speaking after he just won the top prize here in Cannes, the Golden Palme. Lisa, Ken Loach has such a long history with Cannes, and now he's won again his second Golden Palme. Is this enough to make this film a success?
Oh, to make it a success, that remains to be seen. But people like Mike Leigh and Ken Loach might not have the ongoing careers that they do today were it not for the film goers, the ordinary ticket buyers of France. The British audiences had more or less given up on them some years back, and there's always French money in the work they do, and French film goers have been following their careers for years. So here it's sure to be a success. The rest of the world, I hope so.
All right, well, let's take a quick look now at I, Daniel Blake, this year's Golden Palme winner from director Ken Loach.
My kids have got to start school tomorrow. I've got about 12 quid in my purse.
Do you know what
All because you can't just calm down and listen to people when they talk.
Right,
You all
again,
have to do this.
Do you know what? I've listened to you.
Rules.
You've created a scene. I think
I've created this. No, mate, I've created. If I was going to create a
scene,
scene, you'd know about it.
you need
trust
to
me.
leave the building.
I'm sorry, look.
Okay, you need to.
I'm gonna
This
have
is
to-
ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
What am I
Jesus
supposed
Christ!
to do?
Who's first in this queue?
I am.
Do you mind if this young lass signs on first?
No, you carry on.
There you go. Now you can go back to your desk and let her sign on and do the job that the taxpayer pays you for.
Next up now, the second prize here in Cannes, the Grand Prix. Now, this went to Canadian whiz kid Xavier Dolan, who won for It's Only the End of the World. And when I say whiz kid, that's really the case. He's just 27 years old, but almost all of his films have screened already here in Cannes. Tell us a bit more about his history with the festival.
He started out, I believe, when he was 19 with his first film in one of the other sections, worked his way up to the competition. He's adorable. He's exceedingly talented, but this may not be the movie that people should have given him a prize for this time around when there were so many other choices.
Regardless, Xavier Dolan was incredibly emotional at this ceremony just moments ago when he won the second prize, the Grand Prix. Here he is.
Film, thank you for feeling the emotion of the film. L'émotion, ce n'est pas toujours facile.
Emotion is not always easy.
Toujours facile de
It's not
partager
always
ses
easy
émotions
to share one's emotions with
avec les autres.
others.
La violence,
Violence
parfois comme un cri,
is like
comme un regard qui
a
tue.
shout or a look that kills. Using powerful material is Just the End of the World by Jean-Luc Lagarce.
Ne pas avoir
I
déçu.
hope I won't have disappointed.
That's the Canadian director Xavier Dolan, who won the jury prize here a few years ago for his film Palme. This film is called It's Only the End of the World, and you're about to discover a clip now of that film, where for the first time Xavier Dolan is working with A-list French actors, not just the typical Canadians he works with. You're about to recognize Marion Cotillard, who won an Oscar, Léa Seydoux, who's known from the Mission Impossible and the Bond movie franchises, and Vincent Cassel, who's already been films like Ocean's 12 and 13. Take a look at this clip from their new film directed by Xavier Dolan.
Quoi? L'ancienne maison?
Oui. Quoi?
Bah, il va voir l'ancienne maison.
Ouais.
Moi, ça me dérange pas, hein. Je veux bien me conduire si tu veux.
Mais pourquoi tu veux te retrouver là-bas? T'es bête ou quoi?
Mais il est pas bête, écoute. Enfin, je veux dire, s'il a envie. T'es bête, toi, peut-être?
T'es conne?
Mais pourquoi, Louis, sérieusement? Pourquoi tu veux retourner là-bas? T'as oublié un truc dans ta chambre, hein?
Non, je sais pas, comme ça.
Well, the third prize here in Cannes is known as the Prix du Jury, or the Jury's Prize. This was won by a British director, Andrea Arnold, for her film American Honey, sort of a road movie through the United States. But Lisa, you weren't really a fan of this one.
Hardly. This is the third time Miss Arnold has won this prize. I liked her two previous films very much. They were set in her native UK. In this one, she's starry-eyed. She's gone to America. She's picked out a lot of non-professional actors, with 2 or 3 exceptions, and she's thrown them into a van, and they're discovering America together, and it's distressingly uninteresting for the most part. It's overlong. Shia LaBeouf has a few little shticks that are not bad. Her leading lady has a certain something, but this movie is, in my book, almost a dud. I'm not even sure what it was doing in competition. It has its fans. I'm not one of them.
All right, now you can judge for yourself now. Take a quick look at this clip, American Honey. Now, there were 2 prizes for an Iranian film in competition this year, The Salesman by Asghar Farhadi. It won Best Screenplay and Best Actor. And Lisa, this director also has quite a history, not only in Cannes, but around the world, as perhaps the best-known Iranian director today.
Well, there's always excellent, outstanding, evocative work coming out of Iran. He won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film for A Separation. A lot of people think he may never top that, but certainly he keeps digging into the same sort of stories, which are extremely well told. He came to France to make his previous film, and he's back in Iran for this one. There's components of Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. That's the salesman of the title. And it's about a couple with various things collapsing in their lives, so we say.
Indeed. Take a look. This is The Salesman.
خیلی خوب تو نرو.
All right, some other prizes that we can highlight for you from this evening. Jacqueline José from Marosa, which is a Filipino film by Briante Mendoza, who also won a Best Director here in Cannes a few years ago.
He's brought films in and out over the years. This one is a very fine performance. No one saw this coming. We thought it might be Isabel Huppert, Sonia Braga in a wonderful Brazilian film, Aquarius, perhaps Ruth Negga in the story of a landmark interracial case in the U.S., Loving. But she plays a woman, the matriarch of a family that runs a small grocery. They also happen to be dealing drugs out of the candy jar. They get arrested one night, and their 3 children have to go out and raise bail from all the members of their community. You feel like you're in the streets of Manila with them. It's a very fine performance.
Lisa, there's so much to talk about tonight. We're going to quickly run through Best Director. This was a shared prize, Christian Mungiu for Graduation, that Romanian director, and Olivia Assayas for Personal Shopper. Lisa, just quickly, I know it's difficult. Compare the two. For you, there is no comparison.
There is no comparison because the Romanian film is a gem of compact, fascinating storytelling. 72 horrible hours in the life of a man whose life kind of comes crashing down on him. And Personal Shopper, I'm looking for the technical term. It's what we call a pointless, unnecessary, poorly made, uninteresting dud.
All right, Lisa, just very quickly, let's listen to Kristen Stewart, who my colleague Louise Dupont interviewed for Cafe Society, which was the opening film with Woody Allen, and for this movie, Personal Shopper by Olivia Assayas. She asked her if having all this success, 2 films here in Cannes at 26, was just too much. Let's listen.
I'm definitely chasing something. Like, I'm hungry. That's, I'm really lucky because I have a lot to chew on, but, no, man, life is short. I think that you should move quickly, always. Like, keep it up, keep it up.
All right, well, that wraps it up for us here in Cannes. We certainly had to keep it up too, Lisa. A lot to talk about in a very short amount of time. Lisa Nesselson, thank you so much, as always, for your expertise here in Cannes.
Thanks, Judy.
And don't forget that this year's Golden Palme winner, I, Daniel Blake, by Ken Loach. Go check it out, and we'll see you soon.